The information provided on this podcast is for general informational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on this podcast. Reliance on any information provided here is solely at your own risk. Welcome to the Birth Baby Podcast. Each week, you'll find guidance, encouragement, and practical tools to support you through pregnancy, birth, and the postpartum journey. I'm your host, Ciarra Morgan, a certified birth and postpartum doula, hypnobirthing educator, and pediatric sleep consultant. I'm also the owner of a doula agency in Austin, Texas, and the founder of the Birth Baby Academy, where I offer classes for both parents and birth professionals. Thanks for being here. Hello, everyone. Today I have with me Dr. Katherine Melot. I also am now friends with her, and I just want to call her Dr. Melot all the time, and now it feels weird. She is the owner of BirthCo Chiropractic, and I think is it and Wellness in Austin, Texas, and it's also a franchise, which is really cool. And she is here to talk with us today about round ligament pain, because I think this is something that's one of those topics that moms don't know about before they get pregnant, and then they're like, what is this sensation that I'm experiencing? So thank you so much for being here with me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I love this topic. It's so funny. Ciarra reached out to me and was like, we need to talk about round ligament. And I was like, that is a great idea because it's something I ask every patient about. Are you having round ligament pain? And I can't tell you how many times they say, I don't know, what is that? Or what would that be? Or where would I feel that? So I think it's an important conversation to have because almost every pregnant person is going to have some round ligament discomfort at some point during their pregnancy.
Yeah. So what is it and what does it usually feel like? How do you answer that question when someone asks you?
Yeah. So your round ligament is a ligament that attaches from the top of your uterus all the way down to your labia majora. And I've got a nice pelvis here. So I'm going to show you. It's going to attach from your uterus up here down to just right above your pubic bone. There is some variety depending on your anatomy. Sometimes it attaches a little higher, sometimes a little bit lower. But usually, like when you're feeling groin pain down low, it can be a lot of different things. But one of those things it might be is your round ligament kind of pulling on your groin. Now, when you're not pregnant, this is a very small, thin ligament. And as your belly gets bigger, it starts to get wider as it's stretched. And it helps to hold your uterus up. And it's one of the ligaments that actually works to hold your uterus in anteversion, so slightly tipped forward. It's not the only one. But it is there to support your uterus, essentially. And as it gets wider, you'll feel it on both sides of your belly. And typically, like on the lower aspects of your belly is where you'll feel discomfort if your round ligament is going to be causing you any issues.
And if you are listening to this just on some sort of podcast app, I do recommend going and looking on YouTube for this one because you're going to be able to see the things that she's referring to on her own body. She's using her body as an example. So this is really helpful because I think a lot of us just picture our skin is kind of holding our, in our abs or whatever. And as they're separating, they are holding our uterus and everything in place. But these round ligaments really play a big role in supporting this pregnancy, and everything goes out in front. So something's got to kind of hold things in so that we don't feel like we're falling apart. But sometimes that can feel like a pulling, tugging sensation. Do people usually feel it on both sides, or is it sometimes only on one side?
Yeah, and I want to clarify for people who are not watching this on YouTube, you have two round ligaments on both sides. And they kind of hold your uterus up in kind of a bowl shape. So if you're just
two on both sides or one on each side?
One on each side, two total. One on each side, kind of like a bowl. They get wider to help hold the uterus up. As far as pain goes, there's usually two different ways it shows up in patients. One way is that as the ligament is being stretched, many times people feel soreness on both sides. And that is because it's being stretched so quickly by the growth of baby. So that's one way you might experience round ligament. Very common and decently normal. It's not a sharp pain. It's not a huge discomfort. It's just like I feel stretching and just a little bit of discomfort with that. So that's one way you'll feel round ligament. It's very common towards the end of first trimester, beginning of second trimester to feel that stretching pain because baby's going through big growth spurts at that point. And so it's just having to adapt. Okay. The other way that people usually experience round ligament is on one side. And it's usually due to some sort of torquing in the pelvic alignment structure that's causing one side to have more tension versus the other side. So a fun fact about round ligament is even though it's called a ligament, it actually is full of smooth muscle tissue. So because it's muscle, it has contractile units. And when there's pressure on one side or twisting or more pull on one side, it's going to react to that by contracting. And so when you get little adhesions or knots along the smooth muscle, it can cause some sharp pain. And typically what happens is you get some pulling of the round ligament on one side. And then when you make a sudden movement or twist a certain way or take a quick step, it immediately starts to contract. And that's when you get that really sharp pain on one side where you're like, ooh, and you feel like you have to hold your belly, is because that round ligament is just reacting to try to protect you and protect that side of the uterus. But there's some uneven tension on it that you need to work out in order for that ligament to have good length.
And I'll tell you, as a birth doula, and you know this as a chiropractor, holy moly, please go in and make sure that your body is in alignment on both sides, because I would rather my client have this on both sides than just one side, because then that's a sign that we really need to do some body work and get in alignment. Are there certain, like some people feel this more than others. Are there certain Is it activities that they're doing? Is it just their genetic makeup? Is it, short torsos feel it more because they have more stretching, outward than what is that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different things that can affect it. I would say baby's position is a big one that can affect your round ligament. And oftentimes babies in funky positions are in funky positions because their pelvis is in a funky position also. And also for those of you that are watching, I have a pelvis here. If you're twisting your pelvis side to side, your birth canal is going from a nice like roundish shape to more of an oblique shape. And that twisting and pulling is twisting and pulling on your round ligament here. And so pelvic alignment or baby alignment, it being in an odd position, will cause more tension on one side versus the other for round ligament. Okay. Something else that really affects round ligament is hydration levels and even electrolyte levels. So it's very common if you're a little dehydrated or you don't have good magnesium so that your muscles can't absorb water well, then you're going to probably experience more round ligament pain than if you were more hydrated.
That actually makes a lot of sense because you said it has that smooth muscle makeup. And just like we get leg cramps and everything else, and even in labor, I'm like, your uterus is working overtime. If you're dehydrated, you're feeling extra discomfort without extra benefit if we're dehydrated. Now, are there ways to tell a difference between, oh, this is round ligament pain or, oh, this is something more serious?
Yeah, I would say that round ligament pain typically is sharp when you move suddenly, and then it settles down and it goes away. So it's not something, at least when it's sharp pain, it's not something that is going to be with you for crazy long periods of time. Usually once you settle into a position, the round ligament settles down and then you're not just feeling sharp pain all the time. Let's say you move quickly and it gets sharp and you kind of like stay there for 30 seconds to a minute. A lot of times that pain goes away. If you're having sharp pain and it is consistent, even when you're being still in one position, you might consider that something else more serious is going on. And in that case, definitely reach out to your provider and ask, like, is this normal? Is this not normal? The round ligament is very triggered by the body moving. So activity can trigger round ligament pain, especially if the pelvic isn't aligned. Sudden movements to the side, rolling in bed side to side is one of the things that causes round ligament pain a lot. So that pain during movement that goes away when you're at rest often points to round ligament. Outside of that, if it doesn't follow that pattern, I would definitely check with your provider.
Is it ever like a dull soreness for a long period of time when it's not sharp? Do anybody like just kind of feel a dull ache in those muscles?
Yeah.
I think that's what I experienced it as. That's why I'm asking. It's a personal question.
Totally. And I would say that that's more the normal side of round ligament. It has more to do with baby growing and it's stretching really fast. Like
Hmm.
just like any other muscle in your body, if it's like being stretched for a really long period of time, it has to learn to adjust. Like those fibers have to lengthen. And so you might feel some soreness with that. Again, dehydration is going to cause you to feel that way, way more. Sometimes just taking more magnesium can help to get rid of that dull pain. But yes, dull achy pain, definitely round ligament, especially if you're feeling it on both sides of the belly and it's just kind of there all the time.
Hmm. Yeah. And you're going to be able to tell, y'all, if it's a muscle versus an organ. Like you're going to be able to tell how deep is this sensation in my body.
Yeah. And I would say usually when I'm describing it or asking a patient about their round ligament, I just like point to the sides of the belly and they immediately are like, oh, that's what that is. Like I'm
Yeah.
definitely feeling that.
So,
So
what are
it's,
some practical ways that someone could relieve this at home? Like, are there any stretches or movements they can do that might help?
yeah, absolutely. So we would definitely want to focus on the origin of why you're experiencing the pain. So the very easiest basic thing is to make sure that your pelvis is aligned. I'm a prenatal chiropractor, so I always recommend prenatal chiropractic. It helps with round ligament pain. It also helps make your labor quicker and less painful. Is just a win-win. Ciarra, you probably see this all the time. Your clients that get adjusted versus not
I
get
do.
adjusted. It's just a smoother birth in general. So I highly recommend it. It will also help decrease that round ligament pain. The second thing that I would do is make sure that baby's in a really fantastic position. And adjusting, making sure your pelvis is aligned can help with that. Spinning babies can be really helpful with that. Making sure that all the muscles that are attached to the pelvis area and the hips are nice and loose and you're in good posture will help with that. And then of course, hydrating and making sure your electrolytes are good can help significantly. I also often recommend some topicals that can be really helpful, especially for the like achy pain. Topical magnesium, like a magnesium lotion, just rubbed across your belly. That round ligament will soak in that magnesium. And a lot of times that helps with the achiness. And then topical arnica, which helps with inflammation, can be really helpful for managing some of that round ligament pain.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's funny because I have my own answer to this next question, and I'm curious if this is going to be the same as what you would say. What do you
Yeah.
wish that more pregnant women knew about their changing bodies?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I wish that they knew that their body is changing significantly. It's not that you're just growing a baby and it's just going to be in your belly. Your ligaments change, your muscles change, your bony structure changes. I mean, your body is going through the most physical change it's probably going to go through in your life in a short period of time. And so a lot of times when we see these aches and pains crop up like round ligament pain, it's because our body is not adapting well to the added weight of baby plus the looseness of all the ligaments and the muscles. And so supporting your body throughout pregnancy is really important. Like your birth team is so important. And part of your birth team is the body workers, your chiropractor, your massage therapist, your stretch lab person, if you want to go to stretch lab, the person that helps you with your movement and your workout. Like all of those people play such an important role in helping your body adapt. And I will add, the better that your body's adapting over time, the less stress there is on baby and the more comfortable position they're in. So by investing your time and energy into having all of this extra help for your body, you're also helping support baby's development and space and things like that.
Okay, it's almost the same answer, but mine is way dumbed down.
Oh,
Yours is really good. Yours is like the long, very educational version. Mine is just that I really wish that people would take the advice. I mean, I give the advice, but I wish that people would
yeah.
really realize how chiropractic care started early in pregnancy makes such a drastic difference because of everything you just said. But so many people wait until they're feeling aches and pains to
Yeah.
decide to go get that care, or like, oh, their baby is breech. And so now all of a sudden they want to start chiropractic care. And I'm just so bummed when that happens because yes, it will still be of some benefit, but we would have had a lot more benefit and you would have been a lot more comfortable. Because if we get our body in alignment before our body grows so much, then we're adjusting and making space as we go. And our body is going to adjust better and our baby will have more room and we'll see less malpositioned babies. And also, if you have a good chiropractor, like they're giving you things to do outside of when you're there. Like they'll give you like, oh, by whatever you have this in your body, I can tell like maybe your posture needs to be worked on, or, oh, this and this. So are you doing this? Like, I swear that they're magic, and always like ask questions where I'm like, oh yeah, how did you know that? So they can feel things in your body, and it's really incredible, and give you ideas of like how to help. I see all of your really cool videos online of things that you can do throughout your pregnancy to support your body. And I just wish that more people would give their body that time and space early on rather than have it be damage control later.
I think that our traditional healthcare very much lends itself to like when you're sick, then you go to the doctor. When it's broken, then you get it fixed. But being preventative, especially during the pregnancy period, will really set you up for success and set your baby up for success. It will also make your healing so much easier. I cannot tell you the people that started in first trimester and were consistent with care versus those that, did some sessions at the end, like the amount of care we have to do after birth, it all evens out in the end.
And
you're going to invest somewhere.
I know it's a money thing for a lot of people. Like some people can't, but there are nonprofits, like even the one that you have, that help people be able to afford things like this, or have, donations go toward things like this. And there are lower cost options. Do you want to tell people where they can? Oh, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I also want to say that a lot of offices have financial hardship options. Like our office, if you're qualifying for state or federal aid, you qualify for a huge discount on our services.
Oh, wow.
And so that is one way that we work with people to make sure that they can get care. I also want to say some care is better than no care, and early care is better than late care. I have had some people that are like, oh, I want to save up my visits for the end. I would much, much rather you spread those visits out over your pregnancy. So if you've got 5 visits in you, I want to see you like once a month for 5 months, starting as early as we can to kind of get you ready for birth.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't realize that about the hardship thing. Can you tell people where to find you online, and also the nonprofit?
Yeah.
Because I will also add that information into the show notes.
Absolutely. So we have a nonprofit. It's called Rooted Birth Initiative. And the goal of our nonprofit is to really support women who can't afford some of these more holistic services. So we've been able to pay for doulas for some people, midwifery care, pelvic floor physical therapy, anything that kind of falls in the holistic side of things that often has to be paid out of pocket.
Insurance doesn't cover.
Yeah, we have the ability to give scholarships out in order to help you get there, because I'm just such a huge believer in holistic care. And I wish that we lived in a country where like every woman got all the support that they needed funded somewhere, but it's not the world that we live in. And so we want to be able to, in some way, give back and support moms. So Rooted Birth Initiative, you can find us online. You can find the applications online. As far as finding our office, like Ciarra said, our office is called BirthCo, Chiropractic and Wellness. We have 6 locations here in Austin, and we just opened our first location in Houston. So we're expanding. We hope to be in every big city at some point. But for now, we're in Austin and Houston. And our Instagram is a really fantastic resource, especially if you don't live in Austin or Houston. We are constantly trying to put out educational content and useful tips and tricks for things you can do during pregnancy to help support your body. Our handle is birthco.chiro. So Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, I recently joined. So you can find us there also. And then our website is just birth-co.com. You can find all the information, all of our contact information for our offices on there. If you have questions specific for me and you want to reach out to me personally, I'm happy to answer those. My email is Dr. Katherine, DrKatherine at birth-co.com.
And if you go to her Instagram for no other reason than seeing her do all of these crazy things in a fake pregnancy belly, that is reason enough in itself.
Typical ones on there, for sure. You got to mix humor and education together or it gets boring.
I agree completely. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Melot, for coming on and explaining all of this.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to follow, rate, and review the podcast. It helps us reach more families who can benefit from this resource. For more resources, classes, and services, head to empoweredbeginningsatx.com or check out the Birth Baby Academy at birthbabyacademy.com. Until next time, wishing you confidence and calm on your journey through birth and beyond.